You manage a Microsoft 365 environment with a SharePoint Online site called Site1. A current conditional access policy, Policy 1, restricts SharePoint Online access to trusted locations. You need to scope Policy 1 so that its requirements apply exclusively to Site 1 to secure sensitive data. What is the correct order of the steps required to achieve this configuration? The options are as follows. Option A. Update the target resources defined in Policy 1. Option B. Adjust the conditions specified in Policy 1.
Option C. Establish an authentication strength within the Microsoft Entra tenant. Option D. Establish an authentication context within the Microsoft Entra tenant. Option E. Set up a sensitivity label for Site 1. When considering this scenario, think about how Microsoft 365 manages granular access controls. How can we move beyond broad application-level policies to target specific resources, like an individual site? And what foundational steps must exist in your tenant to support that specific level of enforcement?
I believe the correct sequence is first D, then E, and finally A. To enforce site-specific access, you must first establish an authentication context within Microsoft Entra ID. This acts as the bridge between your security policy and the specific site. Next, you set up a sensitivity label that links to this authentication context and apply that label to Site 1. Finally, you update Policy 1 to target this authentication context instead of the entire SharePoint Online app.
Adjusting general conditions is not enough because it doesn't provide the granular mapping required for a specific site. Authentication strengths, while powerful, are focused on controlling MFA methods rather than scoping policies to specific SharePoint resources. Always remember that the authentication context is the key architectural component for site-level conditional access in Microsoft 365.